that. Oh, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and punch up the graphic now. Now we're talking. We got Des, Harrington. Life is good. Particularly not too far from Payson, Arizona, we have a young lady by the name of Adrian who needed help, called for help, and by the time law enforcement got there, this is the Beeline Highway. I mean, thousands of people take it every day. The car was still there, but she had gone missing. So we're going to dig into that a little bit today with our Trenton Hooker. Hope you could stay with us for that. Also today, in the next hour on Fox 10 Talks. And by the way, good morning, Des.
Good morning, Ron. How are you?
Really good. Really good. Although I'm sure there are thousands of WNBA fans who are not happy about this development. Caitlin Clark is not going to play tonight, even though the Indiana Fever are here in town. And even though she played, was it last night or the night before, in L.A.? So we'll try to find out a little bit more about what that's all about. And then really looking forward to this interview. There are plenty of worries about AI, but what if it could decode your medical bill for you and then even dispute it for you? That would be a plus.
Now, that sounds helpful.
It does. And then why today marks the birth of the modern donut. And in case you didn't know, we're all big donut fans around here. Trenton Hooker joins us as well this morning. Hi, Trenton.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay, I can't hear you on that mic. So you got him? Okay.
The mic wasn't on.
Okay. Anyhow, a busy day for you. You're also going to be covering all the developments out of the courthouse in Provo.
Yeah, day 4, Tyler Robinson hearing.
But let's talk about this kind of mysterious disappearance of a woman out on the Beeline Highway.
I think this is every family's worst nightmare situation as it's happening. So 27-year-old Adrian Beasley, she was on the Beeline Highway near Payson, Arizona, in the high country, and 3:30 a.m., so early morning hours, mile marker 243 on SR 87. She calls for help, saying that she's having issues with her vehicle, etc. And then when authorities did try to find her and meet up with her shortly afterward, she vanished without a trace.
Wow. And they had never made contact with her other than the initial phone call of her calling in for help?
Correct. And they did arrive at the scene with multiple resources. So they had drones, thermal drones looking.
Oh, is
they
that
had
right?
canines. Yeah,
Okay,
rescue
thermal
dogs.
drones, because that was one of the things I was thinking was then if it's a situation where she went looking for help.
Right.
I mean, you certainly hope there's no sinister developments.
Exactly.
In this, obviously. But if she went looking for help, you would think, and I believe milepost 243 is about 10 miles or so south of Payson.
Right. So presumably.
Not a lot out there, but you do have Duck
wouldn't be
Creek
where you
Village
walk. Yeah.
is nearby, and then you also have the cutoff to Gazela, the highway that goes to that little community there. And there wouldn't be any businesses open in the middle of the night, but at least she could have sought shelter.
Right, exactly. And it's pretty well traveled, Beeline Highway, even at those hours. So very unusual, but they couldn't find any signs of her. DPS was actually making multiple attempts as well. well. Nothing. Now, the part of this, at least where we're at with the story, is that the Gila County Sheriff's Office requested that this be designated a MEEP advisory, so that's MEAP, so missing, endangered person, as they're happening. And this advisory would say that we believe this person's in danger, but this isn't the threshold, as we've been covering yet, of the turquoise alert. So we're kind of waiting on some clarification there of why that wasn't requested. So we've reached out to the Gila County Sheriff's Office to push to try to get some new information about who Adrian is, where she's from. We don't have a
what she
whole
was
lot
doing
of
on
that
the highway at that hour.
Yeah, exactly. In the morning.
3:30
That's
is pretty. We
yeah.
work early, so I don't know, because she's
True.
been maybe going to work or travel, getting an early start
Sure.
to a destination somewhere maybe. But yeah, just really unsettling that she goes, disappearing. And I think if she walked away, you would think that the thermal drones maybe would catch up with her. But
Yeah, or the
it's a
K9
scary
units
situation.
that
Right.
are able to detect scent
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a mystery.
So hopefully we learn more from DPS, because my question too is her cell phone, right? If she called them initially from
Yes.
her cell phone, did they find that in the vehicle, or are they able to track
You make a great
that?
point. Yeah, in the age of technology too,
Right.
with all of our devices and the tracking features that are on them, it's extremely difficult to disable all those things, even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So, do I have this right? DPS responded first because it was a highway situation, but now, because there's some serious missing and endangered, raises it to a new level. And does that mean that Gila County Sheriff's Office takes over from here?
And it's in their jurisdiction,
Yeah.
yes. So they'll be leading the investigation to try to find out where she is. Now, we don't have it confirmed yet that any foul play has actually been confirmed to where they're shifting their resources to investigate it that way. But certainly they're saying that they believe that this young woman is endangered and want to get it out there.
Yeah. So we hope everyone takes a moment to take a really good look at her picture and just remains on high alert in that area, or anywhere today.
Yeah.
Just be on the lookout for her.
And if you see her, she's 27 years old, 5 foot 2 inches tall, weighs 125 pounds with brown hair.
Okay. Well, yeah. Again, it's the Beeline Highway. If she didn't live in Payson, or maybe she was coming back from the valley, maybe she had to be to work at a certain hour. There are all kinds of, 24-hour convenience stores and restaurants and other businesses that would be open. It would make sense, Des, that possibly she would be heading to work at that hour. Somebody who had to perhaps be to work at 4 a.m., but we just don't know.
Yeah.
And on the heels of so many other missing person cases that we've been tracking so
Right.
closely.
Right.
It's when you see the circumstances very similar, where this person vanished without a trace and kind of walked away from their life at that point. What happened? So lot unknown there.
Yeah.
Our Taylor Wirtz is going to be following this one today, so she has headed to the scene, try to get some answers, and we'll be coordinating with her and update Fox 10 Talks as we have those this morning.
Amazing. All right, good. Trenton, we appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
We're also watching the weather pretty closely because we got some action last night. Anybody ready for some actual monsoon type skies? Well, take a look here as we kind of roll through what is going on in terms of the, let's see. First, we have Skyfox pictures, and this was last night, as you can tell, just after dusk. And that, by the way, was kind of a good view just sort of across the valley. But I thought this was interesting, Des. Again, you can see it's just right around dusk. And look at that dust, the level of dust. It wasn't like a big old haboob that just rumbled across the valley and made the whole, metro area disappear. But
Right.
it was really dusty out there.
Yeah, you can still see all of us underneath there, right?
Which is reassuring, for goodness sakes, right?
But we have our other camera here as well, Tempe Town Lake, catching some of that dust. You can see off in the distance, just enough, to make the horizon there and the outline of the mountains disappear just a little bit.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So then we go to Tempe Town Lake, and it's a weird thing when we do get the dust here in town. It does make the pictures more beautiful. We don't want to breathe a lot of that dusty air, that's for sure. But as you take a look at the Tempe Town Lake, we've kind of sped it up. Cars were not going 115 miles an hour out there on the 202, but it does show you just what we were dealing with that layer of dust. And one of the main reasons we want to talk about it now is that they were in a situation where while it was dusty and windy last night, you fast forward about 2 to 3 more days, and we could actually be looking at some storm activity. I think we've got one more on here from Flagstaff. Let's see if we've got that video as well. Although I do love, look at that, with the train going across. I love the time-lapse videos. Anyway, then we do have one more piece of videotape for you right here. This is what it was like just trying to drive through to me, one of the prettiest parts of our whole state there on the left, Pinetop Lakeside. I mean, they got drenched for quite a while. And then over to the right, Des, we always show this picture a lot during the winter months because that's the top of the ski lift at the Sunrise Ski Resort.
Yeah, look at that.
Visualize me getting off that lift and trying not to fall.
Right.
Because that's Sunrise Mountain. That's a fun place to ski.
You can see those rain clouds off in the distance.
Yeah.
On the
right. Right. So we're going to keep an eye on it because starting, I think Crystal said Sunday. Starting Sunday.
Yep, this weekend.
The chance of rain
good rain
is going to be a real deal. Okay, let's take a look at downtown Phoenix right now. We got that live cam coming in where we can tell you just a little bit more about the Caitlin Clark saga. It continues. Obviously, she's the most talked about player in the WNBA, and so I think a lot of people that are just fans of the WNBA would certainly want to see her tonight, especially with maybe a few hard feelings. The last time the Mercury played the Fever, that was back in Indiana, but it was announced that she is not going to be playing, and that's got to be a bummer for people who maybe bought their tickets months ago anticipating they'd get a chance to see her out there shooting those three-point shots.
Yeah, right. I'm sure fans of the sport, fans of her, even if they do live here in Phoenix, disappointed on this one because she hasn't played a game in the Valley since 2024. So it's already been, here it is 2 years since anyone in the Valley has been able to see her play there at Mortgage Matchup Center. So, yeah, a little disappointing. And this is the Fever's only scheduled game here in Phoenix. So, this was kind of the only opportunity for Caitlin Clark fans here in the Valley to be able to watch her on the court. But now to have even maybe some politicians and lawmakers getting involved into what's going on here after we had that big that play that most likely you've seen at least a few times and in slow motion of that play with Alyssa Thomas there. Lawmakers are saying, enough is enough. Yeah, if the WNBA doesn't start cracking down that, they may potentially look at other ways to kind of tackle some of those issues.
Here's exactly what Des is talking about. There was a letter sent to the league's commissioner by the Republican Study Committee in the House, a congressman named August Pfluger, who said there needs to be some greater accountability toward what the letter referred to as, quote, repeated acts of physical violence toward Clark. And so it goes on to talk a little bit more about it, but I assume she'll be here with her team and she'll be on the bench. Who knows? Maybe she'll sign some autographs, but she is not going to be on the court playing, that's for sure. Okay, Des, here we go. What about this for a mystery cam preview?
Nice and green. What's your guess?
Okay, everybody, there you go. That's a special treat from Ron and Des. It's your preview of the mystery cam, and this might be a little bit of a challenge because it's pretty generic looking.
Right, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let's bring on a guest. We, for the last day or two, ever since that story first emerged early Monday morning out of New York City, I think had us and a lot of people around the country really concerned with, we surely have the greatest building standards in the world when it comes to, especially to high-rise construction. We've seen the horrible pictures coming out of South America after the earthquake hit there, and building after building just crumbling. So the industry has a great track record. And then you see what happened in New York City with literally the beam that started to kind of give way, and it raised plenty of concerns.
Right. So we want to loop in an expert in this field. We're talking to Glenn Good this morning. Glenn, thank you so much for joining us. You're with BOMA, which is the Building Owners and Managers Association. Thanks for joining us. When you saw all of this news starting to unfold just a couple days ago, what were you thinking initially?
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate it on behalf of the Building Owners and Managers Association. And like you, I was alarmed. I was concerned. And the first thing I thought of was the safety of the neighborhood, the safety of the various first responders, the various citizens that were coming and going within that neighborhood. So that was my first concern, to make sure that the area was safe and secure so that there was no harm done or affected to those individuals. But
the camera zooms in right here, and you can see that particular floor, and you can see how the beam did not fully collapse, but it did give way somewhat. How could something like that happen? And by the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but you look at the video, and it does look like the new ad. I mean, they took this old building. They're trying to, insert condos and apartments, that type of thing, which goes on all the time. That one portion actually looks like it's slightly off kilter. How could that happen?
Well, it's a great question, Ron. And I think one of the things we have to be really cognizant about is that the importance that commercial real estate professionals play in the design, the construction, in the operations of a building, and also the ongoing redevelopment. The commercial real estate professionals are equipped and educated with the knowledge. And if we are engaged from the start, it's important that we are, because we can flag items that happen. We can identify issues that take place. So if there's a proposed renovation of a building, commercial real estate professionals can raise the alarm and say, this is a concern. This renovation possibly can cause problems. And the more that we're involved from the outset, the more that we have input in the design, especially if it affects a vital life safety system in the building. That's really, really important that we're engaged from the outset, so that we can alert the architects and we can alert the general contractors that there's really a possibility that there could be damage. One of the things I always mentor folks about, and I'm always concerned about, is floor loads. We're looking at renovations of offices and other buildings throughout the country and throughout the world, and we want it the best and the brightest. We want to upgrade them and make them even more tenant-friendly and visitor-friendly. But we also have to be concerned about whether that structure, that floor load, can handle it. It's really, really important that we're mindful of how the building was originally designed and whether the renovations that are proposed meet that design. And if they don't, we need to raise our hands and we need to be very clear and say, I have some concerns about this because of the potential impact that can result.
Okay, excellent. We appreciate your time today. We're going to go for some breaking news right now, but you've made a number of really good points, and hopefully a year from now we can look back and say, this is how we have fixed it. It won't happen again.
Exactly. Glenn, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Now, live images coming in from the courthouse This is the release of the Lance Twiggs interview with law enforcement. He, of course, the roommate and the lover of Tyler Robinson. Let's listen in. This is happening right now in the courthouse in Provo.
Did he spend the night in the apartment the night of September 9th into September 10th?
Into September 10th. Yeah, he did. Yes.
Do you know when he left the apartment on September 10th?
I don't know an exact time. I just know he left early. I heard him leaving, and he just said he had a long drive to work that day, so he was leaving early.
Okay, so early. Any guess as to what when that was?
I don't know. I would have thought it was 5 a.m. because that's when an early work day was for him, but it was probably more like 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna have him spit out his gum just to make sure that
I can do that.
You mind?
that you're right in front of your laptop.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so what time did you get up on September 10th?
Probably 12 to 1 p.m.
You didn't have to work that day?
No.
And did you hear from Tyler? Did he call or text you before then?
No, he sent that message in the group chat I mentioned, but he didn't message me directly at all that day.
Okay. When did you first hear from him on September 10th?
It was at 11 o'clock with that automated message.
Okay, 11 p.m.?
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of discussion in the courtroom this morning about what parts they would play and would not play. The Kirk family is requesting that it all be put out there, but the judge decided, Des, I believe out of a little more than 30 minutes, that about 17 minutes would be all that would be played in court today.
Yeah, because the judge initially wanted to release it with redactions and quite a few, but yeah, the family spoke up and they made their voices heard that they wanted it played in totality, but obviously we saw some of that video there, as you mentioned.
Okay, so it looks like they're at this point now trying to kind of fast forward into the interview a little bit deeper. Looks like, again, if this is a 34-minute or so interview, they just zapped forward, but they are not yet playing it, so we'll just keep an eye on it. We have no idea. I mean, literally, I'll bet you there were 90 minutes worth of discussions before we ever even got to this point where it was time to play it. And I'll just point out, Trenton is monitoring this as well. He's going to join us right off the top at 11:30 with a full recap, so we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, there are plenty of other stories that are happening out there this morning, and one of them does have to do with the latest post from President Trump, and that is all about the, let me see, I'm going to punch up graphics 3 here. Graphics 3. This is part of the post that he made on birthright citizenship. So I need 3, we're going to go to 3 and then to 4, okay? Let's see, so there is the second half. Do you see graphics 3 in there anywhere? Okay, 3's not playing, but anyway, the president said that he was made aware that there apparently are billboards that are up now along the U.S.-Mexico border literally advertising that for $4,000 they can get you into the country so you can have your baby in the United States and then become a U.S. citizen. He says, nobody saw this coming. American citizenship is not for sale. I will be asking for a rehearing by the Supreme Court immediately. And so, Des, that leads to our poll question this morning, and surely people are talking about it because, it was an issue that was very closely debated in the country and closely decided when the ruling came out for the Supreme Court. But here is how it looks. So in the QR code, we got 83% are saying he's right. American citizenship should not be for sale if that's what's really going on. 17% of the QR poll say he's wrong. The Supreme Court already ruled. That's it. It's over. Your other option, no votes on this one yet, but he said as part of the post that it was a crime, so there's no need to take the issue back to court. How's it looking on YouTube?
Well, here we've got about 1,000 votes already at this time this morning, and 54% of voters say that he's right. American citizenship should not be for sale. 45% believe that he's wrong and that the Supreme Court already ruled, and that's it. 2% say that he said it's a crime, so no need to take the issue back to court.
It's at this point in the program we generally go right over to Big D. That's Dave Taylor.
Yeah.
He is our executive producer and he keeps everything together. But Dave, if we already have 1,000 votes on YouTube, I got to believe there are a lot of comments coming in.
So many comments, so much to go through on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. Chad Taylor in Gilbert says, as real as it gets, citizenship is and has always been for sale. I have friends who have been offered money to legally marry for citizenship, which they declined, but it goes to show we need an overhaul of the system, but not get rid of it. The sovereignty lens says Supreme Court decision is not the end-all be-all of an issue. They are the weakest branch. They cannot control the executive nor the legislative branch. They cannot hold the executive branch or force the executive branch to do anything. And Steely Spielbergo says, let's see some evidence of these billboards. So really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys. We love hearing from you.
Okay, that's great. We definitely have plenty of opportunity for you to give us your opinion on this one, and that would be somewhat unprecedented, but at the same time, we did see just a few weeks ago the president, in fact, walking into the Supreme Court on a day where there was a big case that he wanted to obviously send a message to the justices that he was watching closely.
Mm-hmm. And House Speaker Mike Johnson's been vocal about this issue as well and says that Republicans are exploring a congressional fix under the 14th Amendment to try to address some of these issues that they feel are vital.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that, that's for sure. But since we're approaching the break, this is a tough one. Where does it look like? It's our mystery cam.
This one's tough. Get your guesses in.
Hey, the hearing's back underway in the courthouse in Provo. Let's dip back in.
I just asked him in person if what he said was true the night before, and he said it was. I started crying a little bit and said he wishes he hadn't done it, and then kept going around and just doing stuff, I think, to keep himself busy or distracted or something.
Okay. Did he talk about what he was going to do next?
And then eventually said that he would talk to his parents or turn himself over.
Okay. And when you left, was that how you left, understanding that he was going to turn himself in or go to his parents' house?
Yeah, and I didn't really want to be at our apartment while any of that was happening, regardless of what went down.
Okay. Okay, before he came home, had you seen the press releases, any of the media on this?
I'd seen one Instagram link a friend of mine had sent in our group chat,
Okay.
but I hadn't really looked into it at all.
And had you seen the images that were released of the suspect?
I did the next day. I don't think I saw any on the 10th.
I'm going to show you a couple of those images. Okay, I'm on the FBI's website. You can see the URL there at the top. This is some press release about this event. And here on the screen, you see these, looks like there's 2 rows of 3 images. Mm-hmm. Do you recognize the person in these images?
I wouldn't say it with 100% certainty just because of camera quality, but that looks like him in terms of the shoes he's wearing, the sunglasses. I don't think I'd specifically seen him wearing that hat, but he was usually wearing a hat, and then jeans. So it definitely, especially the bottom, the last 2, definitely do look like him. Oh, they do look like Tyler Robinson.
And you talked about that with your friends, right? This is like him.
Yeah, his friends. Yeah, I don't know if I don't remember if I talked about it with any of my friends. And then since I didn't have my phone after that for a while, and I still am not using social media, I don't know on my friends' end.
Okay. All right, I want to back up a little bit now. We've talked about September 10th, but let me get a little bit of context here. So, did you game with Tyler?
Yeah.
What kind of games?
We played some just kind of party games together, like anything that would be multiplayer with a group of friends. There was one game he really liked called Sea of Thieves, where you play as like a pirate, and you can fight against people, but most of it's just like fishing, fighting sharks, skeletons kind of stuff. We played some co-op games where it's like you both have to work together to win in whatever way. Way back when I was just out of high school, when I first knew him online, we played some shooting games together, but I didn't know him very well, so that was just when we had a whole friend group on to play, and he was someone that my friends invited.
Okay. Did you and he ever talk about politics?
He did more than me. I don't really keep up with politics very much. He'd usually talk about stuff he heard on the radio on his drive to work in their work car, since it sounds like their whole crew went in the same car most of the time. But I wouldn't say super consistently, because it wasn't a topic I really contributed much on.
What about Charlie Kirk? Did you ever talk about Charlie Kirk?
I personally had never heard him talk about Charlie Kirk before specifically.
Okay. How about political issues? So did you ever talk about gender identity issues and LGBTQ rights?
No, not really. Usually if he did talk about politics stuff, it was relating to Trump or current, like, policies being, like, issued or voted on, I think. But, yeah.
So we will continue to keep tabs on that. But this morning, we do want to bring in, we're going to shift gears. We're going to keep tabs, of course, Des, on everything that's going on there in the courtroom. And Trenton will be in at 11:30 with a full recap.
Yeah, he is watching all of that, taking great notes. So we'll have him in to see, to kind of fill in the gaps there, see what we may have missed. But right now we have Shawna Beckman in studio with us. You're the Chief Clinical Officer at Artemis Adolescence Healing Center. Tell us a little bit about the center and who you serve and help.
Yeah, absolutely. So we...
And get close to this mic.
Okay,
yeah.
absolutely.
We want you nice and close.
So we are a program that serves 12 to 17-year-olds. We have all kinds of levels of care, from residential for kiddos that are struggling a little more with mental health and their everyday functioning, to outpatient services like intensive outpatient, as well as outpatient services, individual therapy, medication management, and we even have a parent program where parents can join and get support dealing with their kids who are struggling.
You know, I had seen in kind of looking over the notes here that there apparently has been some kind of disturbing content on Snapchat.
Yes.
What should parents know about what's out there, and how should they handle it?
Yeah, so Snapchat is something we didn't know the dangers of Snapchat until all of our kids got on them, myself included. And so what we're finding is Snapchat is actually promoting very negative graphic content. They're pushing it out towards kids. It's not that kids are looking for it. So they're just on it, and there'll be ads and stuff that are very inappropriate for the developing mind to be looking at, and it's increasing anxiety, depression, and the teenage mind is still under construction, and they take things very literally, and then not like the adult mind. So they get very it really leads to anxiety, depression. They don't understand what they're looking at. But Snapchat is actually pushing that content. Kids aren't finding it.
What is going on in their adolescent brains that makes it so different than an adult, fully developed brain and our thought process that makes, that time of their life really susceptible to some of that negativity that is on social media?
Well, so their frontal lobe's not fully developed, and that's where you think about, right and wrong, and you have a good understanding about life. So when you get content put in there, when you don't really understand everything because you don't have the life skills and the development, and your brain's not developed, it can really increase depression, emotional dysregulation, and it puts a perspective on real life that's not reality. So kids are expecting something that's not what's in everyday life.
And so how young are we talking about in terms of what you've learned for kids who are being exposed here? Are we talking about primarily teenagers, 13 to 18 kind of a thing, or younger?
I think it's younger. I think parents are unaware of the dangers of social media, and so we're letting them get on not knowing that this content is being pushed and geared towards our kiddos, because it's all about a loop, and they want to get views, and so anything they can do, if you look at it too long, it's going to make more of that same content come through.
And but I guess because I'm a mom, I'm just trying to, put myself in that position of littles right now. And this is silly, but I'm just to draw the comparison. Like, we might be watching what's a Disney movie or whatever, and there's characters in a movie that are mischievous or being bad, and you're like, oh, wait a second, it's not that bad. But then when you watch it, you're right, because kids, they soak everything in, and then they think, oh, that's the behavior I can display, and that's not what we want our kids to be learning.
And that's not what we want. And so, I really say, know what your kids are watching. Don't shame them. Make sure that you are co-viewing things together. And if they see something that is uncomfortable or dangerous, talk about it. Don't shame them, because they're not searching it. It's coming to them naturally.
So do you suggest a parent taking away Snapchat or social media altogether? And if not, what should parents be doing?
So I think more than anything, it's something we have to learn to live with. It's the day of the age. So how do we put healthy boundaries around it? So being open, like if you're noticing signs that your kid has increased anxiety, that maybe their sleep sleep or appetite habits have changed, they're withdrawing after they are on their phone, teaching them healthy boundaries and talking about what they're seeing. Have an open communication on what they're looking at, not just assume that what they're doing is appropriate, because we now have information to know that it's being pushed out to kids whether they search something or not.
And so if people want to find out more about what you guys do at Artemis, what's the best way to do that?
Okay, so we have a website at Artemis AZ. Please check us out. Lots of resources. You can also give us a call. And I just highly say don't wait for a crisis. Like if you're noticing any type of self-harm talk, suicide ideation, increased withdrawal, or things not being normal for your kiddo, reach out, ask questions. That's what we're here to help.
Wow. Okay.
Great.
Good. Thanks for the good work you guys are doing. And parents need to just be involved.
Yes,
right?
be involved.
That's the better.
Yeah. We appreciate you,
go,
Shawna.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you.
Hey, before we go to our next break, we just learned a couple of hours ago, and this is a bummer. When I say the name Bonnie Tyler, you, at least if you're like me and you love music back in the 80s, total eclipse of the heart. Oh, look at this, Des. This was her performing on a cruise ship. How fun would that have been? Some of
Yeah.
those 80s classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So, we learned she's 75 years old, and there had been apparently some medical issues that required her to be put into an induced coma. And then it sounds like there were just, something happened over the last day or so, and they lost her.
Yeah,
she
just
was
pulling
in
from
the hospital.
from my memory from the morning show this morning. I believe it was some sort of intestinal issue that she was in the hospital for originally. I mean, so hearing that sounds, pretty scary, pretty severe. But this is, I think her passing is still nothing that they anticipated happening. It was still, something that caught the family off guard and just unfortunate.
Interesting. I just kind of researched to see if she was. I came over the top 12 list of artists, and Michael Jackson. Everybody's talking about him now, but he had up more than 200 million records sold in the 80s. Then it was Madonna. Then it was Prince. Then it was Whitney Houston. Then it was Bruce Springsteen. How's that for a top 5?
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we wish the family the best there. Sad that she's gone. Break time. We'll be right back.
coaching pets.
Guess what? We're finally going to get to the mystery cam. I mean, we started showing it to you at 10:12, and there's just been a lot of breaking news. But Des, we got all kinds of guesses.
Yes, my goodness. So sorry, you guys. I've tried to go back in the chat as far as I can, and it looks like we do have a lot of guesses on the mystery cam, and folks were like, when are they revealing the answer? Well, we had a lot of breaking news. So Thomas Favela looks like he is guessing Poughkeepsie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he also put in here Rio Rico. I don't,
Down in southern Arizona.
Yeah.
Almost to the border, almost to Nogales.
Let me scroll through to gather a few more. There were some earlier ones too, but I don't know, I must have lost where those are in the chat. But here, Burger Boy is guessing Oklahoma, and so is Louie. They're both going with that guess. Jenna says Missouri or Kentucky.
Okay.
Are you liking any of these so far, Ron?
Do you want to take Oklahoma?
I'm going to go Alabama.
Are you?
I saw there were, yes. And earlier in the chat, some folks did guess Alabama. I lost track of who. B. Miguel says Texas, too.
I could see it being Oklahoma, or I made that drive across country once. Then you go into Arkansas, and that is green country for sure. So I guess I'll go Oklahoma.
Yeah?
Here comes your answer, everybody.
All right, here it is. And the answer is Normal, Illinois.
Really? Fooled us again.
It's so wrong.
Yeah, we were all squinting trying to figure out if that was a Love's gas station or what it was right there. But thanks once again for playing the mystery cam.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
All right, so here's a question. This is like the question of 2026. Should we fear AI or should we figure out how to use it? Right? Okay, so this
What
is
are
a
we
good
doing?
chance.
Making it our best friend?
Yeah. Bella Vasta is here. I guess the headline from you is, yes, you can use AI, and there might be some very specific ways, even today, even right now, that it could help you.
Absolutely. And I bet your viewers right now could relate to the topic we're going to talk about today. I help make AI a lot easier for people to access through my podcast, AI for the Busy Human, where we solve one problem. Today, we're going to talk about how you can take a bill that you might get from the doctor and either dispute it or challenge it, or maybe they deny it and you need a denial letter, or maybe they give you a whole big one and you have no idea what to say. Are we connected?
I think we got some video right here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, lovely. Look at that B-roll. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, who likes to drown in medical stuff? And you look at it and you're just like overwhelmed. You're like, I don't know what this means. A medical code, huh? I don't know what medical code I need. And I do not want to sit on hold for however long I need to sit on hold to talk to somebody.
So how do we do this? So like kind of walk us through the
Let's
process.
go.
If they have their medical bills and they want to kind of input that info in.
So I'm going to preface this to your point, Ron, about fear, right? Like keep all of your personal information out of it. So maybe block it off, but take a picture of it and upload it and be like, what does this mean? Explain this to me in regular terms.
Yeah.
And now you'll start understanding it. And it's like, oh, maybe you went in for A and the claim is coming back for B. And you're like, no, that's wrong. They coded it wrong. Like, how do you know if they coded it wrong? Or rather, maybe you know that your insurance will cover a procedure if it's coded as something specific, right? But they're coding it as something else. And so AI could help you like figure out your strategy on, oh, you know what, actually, can you resubmit it with this other code? And then all of a sudden it could get approved.
Interesting.
Is this to the level of AI could even write the letter for you?
Absolutely. So when you have to, dispute it or whatnot, it absolutely can. So once you understand, like, hey, this is what our goal is, now write me a letter with the exact information that person is going to need so I can send it. So now all of a sudden you're solving these problems a whole lot easier with so much less stress, okay? And you get the answer. It's miraculous.
So then, you know what I'm thinking? So then is the insurance company coming back with a rebuttal that they've generated from AI?
You know what? That's a good.
Like we're going back and forth.
Wrong.
You know what? That will give it a year, and it will be like our agent going against other agents and all that kind of thing. But right now, the humans are still involved. So you have. What I want people to take from this is that you can be empowered by this information instead of being overwhelmed and paralyzed and just feeling helpless, which I think a lot of us do. I mean, healthcare and insurance is a really big topic for people, and
Right.
it just feels like nothing's covered anymore.
Oh, I feel like people give up before they even start, right? Because insurance companies, let's admit it, are so incredibly difficult to deal with.
Rightfully so, and every single one of us has this tool now in our pocket that we can actually use it for. And I'm here to try to remind people you can use it, just like we talked about what's for dinner or how to travel or all these things. And this is another big problem or challenge that we all have on a regular basis that we could just open up AI and have it help us.
We got about a minute or so left
Yes.
here. Your podcast drops once every week, correct?
I actually dropped the entire season, so it's all there for
we
you to
can
go
binge.
get it. Yes, you can go.
You can binge.
That's the only way I can watch anything is to
Right,
binge
I
it.
agree. I get upset when I have to wait, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. So all 12 episodes are AI for the Busy Human. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, and between 12 to 17 minutes, we solve one problem, and it's everything. It's even I have a special needs child, and it's how to handle IEP meetings, which are just overwhelming and stressful. I think the thing is that it's 2026. We don't. If there's problems that just make us shut down, oftentimes AI can help us work through it. But you have to have the right strategy. Otherwise, it'll give you more work.
And maybe it helps you generate your own ideas then,
Absolutely.
right? Because, maybe I was thinking
Without a
kind of
doubt.
this one way, but it brought up maybe the other side of the argument that you
Yes.
can start to understand.
Yeah.
What has been your hottest episode?
Probably the what's for dinner, honestly.
Okay. Tell us
Because
about
so you go into your refrigerator and you either tell it, like voice it, hey, I have potatoes and chicken and 2 tomato, something.
Yeah.
What should I do? And it'll come up with things. Or what I like to do is I just take a picture. I don't rearrange anything. I just take a picture of what's in my refrigerator, and I say I want to use this protein, like turkey, but whatever I'm going to make with turkey is going to be boring. And it comes up with this like turkey, spinach, feta, mushroom meatball. And I'm like, I would never have thought about that. And then I feel like really successful. I feel really happy that I was able to solve this problem. It was a little bit creative. Then it'll tell me exactly how to do it and what to do. It'll give me the recipe. It'll say, do this first, do that first. It's great. It's a matter of just
And
understanding.
you didn't have to run to the grocery store to get 5 new ingredients that you'll never use in another
Although if
dish
you
again.
needed to, it's really easy on ChatGPT to deploy your agent to go get your Instacart order. It will go put everything in Instacart as well. I teach all of this on the podcast.
yeah.
It's not about doing more. It's about giving yourself time so you can be a human being.
That's a really
You know
good
what I
way
mean?
to put it, for sure.
Instead of a human doing.
Okay, and tell us how we can find the episodes.
Just go to bellavasta.com/busyhuman, and I'll also give you all 43 prompts that you can get. It's right there for you.
Love it.
Wow. Incredible.
Okay.
Very cool.
Thank you, Bella.
Thank you so
Come
much.
back when the next series
I'll
of
be back next
episodes
month,
drops.
absolutely.
Okay. Hey, there are a couple more things before we are going to say our goodbyes. And one of them, Des, is really, truly one of our favorite segments here. It is what we call Let's Learn New Things. That's you and me in the laboratory. Oh, look, there are
Let's
some
do it.
robots staring at us
Look
right
at
there.
that.
And notice how we're front and center, not them.
Right?
So explore, discover, create, and we're just going to talk a little bit about donuts because you literally could say that today in history marks the birth of the modern donut. I mean, if it weren't for this guy, his name is John F. Blondell.
Wow. He should be a household name.
He should be. And
If he gave us the donut.
it's like when you go looking for info on him, it's like there really is almost nothing there, except that it was on this day in 1872 that he got the first patent for a spring-loaded donut cutter. And that was, otherwise, you're looking at making them by hand or trying to figure out a way to stamp out the middle, but then you'd have to get your gooey fingers into the middle part and pull it out one by one. This was the guy who
Tedious.
made sure that you could now make donuts a dozen every whatever, 60 seconds,
allowed for
30
mass production,
seconds.
which is
Yeah.
genius because once you taste a donut, you realize how delicious it is and everybody wants one. So
I know.
now you have to make them faster.
Is there one type of donut that you literally almost if you eat one, you almost have to have two or three?
Oh my gosh, I love a good cream-filled chocolate frosted
I never knew
donut.
that about you. Cream-filled.
I feel like, I don't know why they're harder to find. I mean, you can find a Boston cream-filled, so I'll have that. But I prefer like the white cream instead of the custard.
Could have been your time in Boston, Des.
Maybe. What do you like?
There are two. I could get totally addicted to Krispy Kreme.
Oh, well,
I mean,
yes.
like
I mean, who doesn't like a traditional glazed donut?
It's like sugared air.
Yeah.
You could eat, I swear you could eat half a dozen.
That's the problem. Those sneak up on you.
Then the other is Bashas'. They have their maple bars.
Oh, yeah, you love those.
Or people call them Long John. They're incredible.
Yeah, those are good.
Incredible. Let's go to Big D. I didn't even prep him, and he is a healthy eater.
He needs time to research this answer, though.
I got a feeling he knows what his fave is.
I need
what's
to
your number
taste
one?
test more to make an educated decision.
Here we go again.
But I will go with Des. I go cream filled.
Yes.
When we were going through the construction process, it was my favorite thing. We had Fridays with donuts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always snagged that cream filled one.
Right.
Yeah. Where do you get yours from? Because I will say, since coming to the Valley, I haven't found a place that I love for a good cream filled.
There's really good donuts left in the newsroom. That's usually where I pick up mine.
You're like, whenever they come in the door here. All right, that's a good strategy.
Here's your question. Both of you guys can jump in on this one. We eat a lot of donuts in this country. And so if you stacked all of the donuts that we eat in 1 year in this country, would it's kind of a three-part or three options. Would it stretch literally from coast to coast from Seattle to Miami? Would it stretch around the equator, I mean the entire globe? Or would it go all the way from the Earth to the moon? Des, what do you think?
Ooh.
Stand by, Big D. You're going to guess in about 5 seconds.
Earth around the equator.
Okay, what do you think, Big?
I'm going to go Earth to the moon. The more donuts, the better.
Once again, the brilliance of Dave Taylor comes through.
Yeah,
Not
I
only
figured.
that, you guys, the actual answer is we eat 10 billion donuts a year in this country. It would go the 1.2 million miles into space, which would go to the moon and back. And to the moon and back again.
Is that why GLP-1s are so popular now?
Right.
Too many donuts.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, now you know.
Wow.
That's a lot of donuts.
Yeah.
But now my mouth's
crazy.
watering. I don't know about you.
Well, I was going to say shame on Ron for bringing this topic up without any donuts.
Don't bring the topic if you can't bring the goods.
Yeah.
Ty is here, and so is Danielle in 2 minutes.
All right, time now, 11 o'clock. We're going to keep things rolling here on Fox 10 Talks, and Danielle is here to hang out with us.
That's right. We have a jam-packed show.
Yeah, we do.
There you go. I took your line.
I know.
I covered it.
How are you dealing with the heat?
It's not fun.
It has been brutal, hasn't
Luckily, I've been in studio a lot this week, so that is a major bonus, but just going outside. And I have a 6-year-old, so trying to keep her busy. We are living in the pool currently, so... Yep.
Well, every summer, it seems like we do one of these stories where, unfortunately, somebody in an apartment complex is dealing with no AC, and that's exactly what we're seeing from this a particular apartment complex. It's called Spectra, and now the Arizona Attorney General is getting involved because these residents living in the Spectra West Apartments, this is near 59th Avenue and Bethany Home Road, they say they will have AC for a short amount of time, and then it will go out for hours.
Yes, and as Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays, she sent the property owner and the management company a formal demand letter calling the situation unacceptable. She set a deadline to get the air conditioning working again. So she's also demanding portable air conditioning units to be brought in or give those residents some temporary housing. Some of those residents we spoke to, they were saying that these issues at this complex have gotten worse over the years and that they're worried about their health and safety. Obviously, these are very dangerous temperatures that we are experiencing here, specifically in that area there. Yeah. So not a good situation here.
No, not at all. So we at Fox 10, our reporter, tried to contact the Spectra West Apartments front office. No one answered. The property owners, if they miss tomorrow's 5 p.m. deadline, the Arizona Attorney General says they could face fines of up to $10,000 for every violation. So we'll stay on top of this because obviously this is dangerous heat, and we know this all too well. Unfortunately, we see deaths related to the heat.
We do, especially the elderly. So if you do have any elderly people, specifically that live in that apartment complex, definitely want to check on them.
This is a bizarre story that is developing, and I can't get enough of the details about this because I feel like this is kind of an interesting story. So DPS and the Gila County Sheriff's Office are asking for your help trying to find this woman you see on your screen. This is 27-year-old woman. Her name is Adrienne Beasley. So she's reported missing, but the circumstances surrounding her disappearance is kind of bizarre.
It is really bizarre. DPS, they were saying that she called for help on State Route 87. That was right around 3:30 in the morning. So troopers responded to that call to go assist her. And when they showed up, they only found her car. She was missing, so there was no signs of her. The Gila County deputies searched that area with canines and rescue drones, but unfortunately they could not find her. So at this time, they're asking anybody with any information about this case to give them a call, and I'm assuming they're going to continue their search efforts there within that area.
We also have a reporter that's going to be working this story today because it's kind of a big mystery that's developing in Gila County.
Yep.
All right, another big story that we were following all morning long. We continue to stay on top of this. That 18-month-old little baby making an unbelievable recovery. He was discovered alive in a hospital morgue after a doctor declared him dead.
Yeah, this is, it has everybody talking. This has made national news here. The child was rushed to the hospital. All of this happened back in February after being found face down in a backyard pool there. Police say parents and police warned hospital staff that the boy still seemed to be breathing, noting that he was gasping for air even after he was declared dead there by those doctors. So staff assured family and detectives that the breathing was a byproduct of resuscitation efforts, but hours later the boy was found breathing again.
So in a statement, the hospital called this a quote-unquote heartbreaking situation. They've launched an internal review into all of this as well. But this is one of those stories that has a lot of people talking, and it's now getting national attention. So we're going to stay on top of this as well. And then back up in Utah, it is another day for Tyler Robinson, who is back in court for day 3 of his preliminary hearing. Utah prosecutors presenting more evidence that they say links him to the killing of Charlie Kirk. So yesterday there was some surveillance video that they were able to show.
That is right. They're saying that surveillance video, it matches what he was allegedly seen wearing on the day of that shooting. So the court also debating whether to release a recorded interview with Robinson's former roommate and romantic partner. The judge did rule that the 37-minute recording could be played, but with significant redactions. However, Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk's attorney, argues that the full interview should be presented presented in court.
All right, so this is expected to wrap up on Friday, so we'll be watching this very closely. All right, here is what you are reading. This is the top news stories on our website this morning. The first one here is this story that we reported this morning. Tempe man admits to meeting an 8th grader who he called his daughter to have sexual relations with. So this is getting a lot of clicks on our website.
It is, and they're also looking for other potential victims out there. So if you're close to that case or know anything about it, definitely give them a call.
All right, this one is the explosive diarrhea story.
Oh boy.
It is the
that took a turn.
I know. And we actually, a little tease ahead for tomorrow, we actually have a doctor coming in to talk about this because this is really starting to kick off in Michigan. And they said that there's actually some cases starting to show up here in Arizona as well, which is not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
No good.
And then our number 3 most watched and clicked on story is this. A Flagstaff shooting stemmed from a fight. So we're still getting some additional details about this up in the high country. So those are our top web stories on this Thursday.
And you can read all about them
on fox10phoenix.com.
That's right.
All right, moving right along here this morning. You said you live over in the East Valley.
I do.
And you see these e-bikes everywhere.
Oh, they're everywhere. Yeah, I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's...
There's a new article that came out that said e-bike sales in the United States have more than quadrupled over the past 5 years. But a spike in ownership has meant a spike in injuries, too, unfortunately. So our next guest here is Melissa Luxton. Did I say your last name correct? You are an emergency room nurse with Banner. And so we thought we'd bring you in just to kind of walk us through what you're seeing in the ER when it comes to this, because the amount, they said 41% of all emergency visits for e-bike injuries in 2024 and 2025 involve patients ages 10 to 19. So we're talking about young patients coming in with some severe injuries.
Yes, definitely. It's becoming one of our leading traumatic injuries are from e-bikes. Adults too. So we're seeing a huge uptick in the teens, but also a very large uptick in even our seniors too.
And because they go, I mean, if you've never ridden an e-bike before, they're fast.
Yeah, and they have a lot of acceleration.
And a lot,
quickly.
yeah. And you're not really used to it being on a pedal bike.
Right. Well, they're heavier. They travel up to speeds of 28 miles per hour. So when they crash, we're seeing a major, severity and injuries for sure. Yeah.
What type of injuries are we talking about?
The big ones, head injuries, so traumatic brain injuries, concussions, spinal injuries, and those can completely change someone's life, the total course of their life, months of rehabilitation, if not years of rehabilitation.
And I have seen too, a lot of these e-bikes, they're single crashes with, just the rider crashing, but others, motorists, coming into contact with these e-bikes because they're on the road kind of like a typical car would be.
And then add in the factor of distraction. So we already know we have a problem with distracted drivers. Then we've got distracted e-bike drivers too. So it's just this, it ends up being a pretty deadly combination.
Yeah. And I know, this might be a good time if you have kids that have one of these to have that conversation with them, to let them know that this, obviously it's a bike, but this potentially could change your life, as you mentioned, with a traumatic head injury, because that was the number one leading. They said, what was it? Over what? I got to put my maps together. Oh, I cut off the percentages.
It's high.
It's high, but if you look, that's the number one with the traumatic head injuries.
By long and far, the traumatic head injuries. And I think it's important for parents to know that most cities, the law is that they have to be over 16 to be riding these. These are not toys. They're not meant for younger children.
Yeah.
So just like a car, 16 and older.
And helmet use, I know that kind of varies as well in terms of what's legal and what's not legal. So some people are wearing helmets, some aren't. And
yeah, and again, the law isn't always the best practice, right? So sometimes, as a parent, we need to just be making the best decisions to keep everybody safe and healthy in the house. And helmet use is definitely one of those things that prevents those head injuries.
I was going to ask you personally, it must be kind of, I guess, disheartening when someone comes in with a head injury. They weren't wearing a helmet, and they're in bad shape, but if they just put that helmet on, their life could have totally made it a different change.
Absolutely. It could have saved it. And so many times that's the case.
And I'm sure, too, with some of these crashes, outside of just the head injuries, I'm sure road rash, burns.
Fractures. all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah, I was driving down Central the other day, and there was a group of 3 teenagers, and the one guy was doing like Papa Wheelies
They
down
usually go in
Central, and I was
groups.
like,
Yeah.
And the same thing on my street a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right on the yellow line, just
Yeah.
popping wheelies. About 13.
My gosh. And it's kind of like a new sense of freedom for the kids. Yeah. For the younger generation, you know, it's kind of a new. They can get around, you know. They don't need mom and dad anymore. They don't need that driver. Well, they do, but you know, they don't need a driver's license to.
Right. But they should.
Yeah.
But we're seeing the same thing in our older adult population too. So they're also getting on the e-bikes. They're going a lot faster than they think they're supposed to go. 'Cause they're used to riding a traditional bike. And so we're seeing those injuries in the older adults, and then they've got a different, you know, bones aren't as strong as they used to. So we're seeing a lot of hip fractures, long bone fractures. Again, those head injuries. Our older adults are more prone to bleeding from the head injuries and things like that. So we're seeing a big uptick in our senior communities as well.
Wow. Melissa, what can people do? I mean, what are some of the safety tips that you would want to allow parents to know? Maybe some of those older riders, like you mentioned.
Yes, helmet. Absolutely, every single time, even on a traditional bike, no matter what bicycle you're riding, motorcycle, bicycle, e-bike, always the helmet. It's going to be your best defense against any kind of head injury. Limit the distractions. No AirPods in the ears. You should be aware of your surroundings, be able to hear for vehicles, emergency vehicles, all the same things of like when you're driving a car, right? And then, you know, eyes on the road. Yeah.
It is kind of wild, though, that these things are so popular. And we should mention that a lot of these cities are trying to get ahead of it and starting laws and things like that. So if you do live, you might want to check with your specific.
Because they're all different. I know Glendale came out and released some new rules. Gilbert.
And then there was like none in the parks. You can not on the sidewalks. It just depends on jurisdiction.
Where you're
kind
at.
of it all changes. So we appreciate your time here this morning, and
thanks for
hopefully we don't see you in the ER.
I hope so.
We want to see you here back on TV with us again, but not in the ER.
Not in
We
the
definitely
ER.
do not want to see you in the ER.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Melissa.
for coming in.
Appreciate it.
All right, Danielle, ready for this?
Sure.
What
let's
year
go.
was it? Melissa, you can play too if you want.
Okay.
Stay right here. Here we go. To Kill a Mockingbird was published. What year was it?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Neither. I'm gonna go. What? 60s? I don't know.
I'm just going to say 1955.
Well, I know the name, Harper Lee. Isn't that the author? That's all I know, though.
That gets you no points.
That gets me 0 points. All right, I'm going to say 60s. I have no idea. All
I'm
right.
saying 1955.
Put your guesses in.
Wait, we didn't ask Melissa. What do you think, Melissa?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to go, like 56.
Okay.
All right, we'll see. Stay tuned.
That's funny. You want to say?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Your question of the day, what year was it To Kill a Mockingbird was published? And we got a lot of really good guesses. We got someone saying 1955, 49, 48, 56. Michael Lewis says 1956. We got someone saying 55, 42, 60. Okay, I said what did I say, in the 50s? I had no idea.
You said 60s, I thought.
60s.
I said 1955.
Okay.
But we did have somebody up there that just said, who is
The
that? Oh,
movie
Be
came out in
Kind
this-
Forever. 1962. My daughter just read it in school, so I trust that. I'm gonna go with 1962.
Okay, ready?
I'm switching my vote.
Oh, no, that's
No.
the wrong button. Hold on. This is it.
Oh.
1960.
Dang it.
All right. Look, we got a couple winners up there on the board. Nice work.
Be Kind Forever. You were off by 2 years, but that's okay. We still love you.
Outlaw Dynamo, you got it. Who else got it? Diamond.
Diamond.
4569. Good job.
Good job, guys.
All right. I did not get it right today.
Neither did I. That's all right.
There's always
pinch
tomorrow.
Coke, give me a Coke.
All right.
We just said the same thing.
All right, you guys, there's a new trend. If you're scrolling through Instagram, maybe TikTok, if you're on the TikTok machine.
There is always
Are you on the TikTok
something.
machine?
I am, but
You don't post
I'm just
anything?
more active on Instagram.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's this thing called fiber maxing, where people are alleging that if you take a ton of fiber, it's going to give you that lean six-pack that you want.
This is kind of like the looks maxing, where they're like,
Yeah.
hey, take a hammer to your face. You're going to look like Cindy Crawford in no time. Not happening.
So we have brought in our friend Laura Stratton from Burn It, Build It Fitness to kind of talk about this. And she's saying, nah.
No.
But
there's ways to do it.
There's ways to do fiber correctly.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, there's ways to introduce fiber to the body.
So
But-
let's start at the very beginning. What exactly is fiber and what does it do for our body?
Oh, it does so many things, actually. I mean, fiber is kind of your health instrument.
Okay.
More so than, I mean, it's as important as like your heart and things like that. So fiber actually helps with cognitive function. It helps with hormone balance. It helps with metabolism. It helps with longevity. So it helps with hair, skin, and nails. Everything is done in your gut microbiome. And the cool thing is, up until like 2006, we didn't know much about the microbiome. Everything was done on cultures. And since 2006, it's just skyrocketed with, now we have the education and the technology to actually dive in and study. And everybody's microbiome is different. You don't have a single person that has your exact same microbiome.
Interesting.
And fiber, you know, a lot of people think it's just from like.
Metamucil.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
the
but
little gummies, yeah.
Yes, but
Like I remember
natural
my grandma
things.
took Metamucil.
Absolutely. My grandma did too.
Aw.
But now,
Absolutely.
like, these young kids are going out and buying Metamucil because they think it's going to shred them and get them lean.
Yeah, no, fiber, you have soluble and insoluble, right? And so fiber helps with, again, every function in your body, but also you have fiber in all of your fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. So if you eat fruit, vegetables, and whole grains, and you eat a variety, right? A variety of colors, eat the rainbow, you're gonna get plenty of fiber. The hard thing is when you eat a bunch of processed foods and then you just give yourself a tablespoon of Metamucil, you're only doing so much, right? And so it's like, it's good, but it's not great. It's not like it's gonna be the one thing that's gonna fix all of your problems.
Gotcha.
And you were saying that it could have an opposite effect. So say if, you know, in my diet or I'm not taking any type of supplement and then all of a sudden I just overload my system of fiber, you could actually have the opposite where you're
You're gonna be a bloated balloon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be gassy.
Yeah.
Because a byproduct of fiber is gas. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's very, very uncomfortable, and most people don't like to be bloated and gassy.
Yeah.
So there's a proper way to do it. So if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber, don't just go and load yourself. It's like working out, right? It's like a muscle. If you go from not doing anything to then doing a crazy difficult leg day where you're squatting and you're maxing out, your legs are going to hate you. You're not going to be able to walk. It wasn't a good experience, and you're not going to do it again, right? So it's like, nope, you can't overdo it. We got to go low and slow. Same with your fiber. Right? Don't start with 2 cups of rice or 2 cups of whole grains or oats. Start with a quarter cup. Don't go from no beans to a cup of beans.
Yeah.
We all know the benefits of that, I guarantee. That's not good for anybody.
There's a song about
we've all
that,
sang the
Laura.
song.
There is. They're good for your heart, is what I hear. So, but yeah, so you can slowly introduce it. And the really cool thing about your gut microbiome is The minute you take one bite, you start to change it, and you start to introduce new healthy bugs that's going to help break down those fiber, whether it's soluble or insoluble.
Gotcha.
So the biggest thing is a variety of stuff, so that way we can cultivate those healthy bugs that help with the immune system, cognitive health, hormone balance, metabolism.
Now, we've talked to you before about protein, because that was another big thing that everybody's always talking about, protein, protein, protein. And there's kind of a formula of how much protein you should be having each and every day.
Yeah.
Is there a formula for fiber about how much a person should be having?
Yeah, they'll recommend that you need about 30 grams over the course of the day. You know,
Do normal people get that?
No. Like, I don't even know what the statistics are now, but last I saw the statistics is at least 85% of Americans are deficient in fiber.
What are the highest fiber foods that we can eat?
Ooh, good question. I mean, your whole grains is going to be really good, like barley and like your sprouted breads. You know, they have to be sprouted, right? White flour doesn't count, unfortunately. But it's like you have oats. Apples have a lot of fiber in them, right? So those of you that like juicing, be careful, because when you juice, you remove all the fiber, right? And you're just getting the sugar and you take out all the pulp, right? The pulp in the skin is where all your fiber is.
Got it, okay.
There's a bunch of different fiber quantities and bites and things like that and whatnot.
And we have a question here. William is asking, fiber at night or in the morning, which is better? Or throughout the day?
Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as you get it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the guy that I was watching on TikTok, which is why I called you, he was drinking chia seed water and would let it get all the gelatin and then chug it, and he's like, look at me, I'm getting shredded from my chia seed water. And I was like,
if it was that easy,
disgusting.
America wouldn't be overweight, right? If all we had to do was like chug a chia seed, I mean, and call it like a tapioca pudding. I mean, there are like chia seed puddings out there and recipes for that to help you. But, and again, chia seeds is a great way to get some in, but it's not the end all be all.
Got it, okay.
What about things like, so obviously you have a fitness background. So if folks are really looking for that, getting rid of that, whatever this is.
The midsection.
The belly.
Which is the hardest thing to get rid of.
Without a doubt, yep.
What are some things that they could be doing in the gym? I mean, obviously diet is number one.
Number one, yeah. I always say you develop your abs in the gym, but they're seen in the kitchen.
Oh,
right?
Look at you. Okay.
So the thing you have to be careful of is you got to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables, just because, again, you want a variety of healthy bugs to help you with your metabolism, your cognitive health. I mean, it just continues on, right?
Sure.
So that's going to help. So we need a variety of those things. Second of all is we can do our ab crunches to kind of solidify it, but I mean, doing 45 minutes of abs isn't going to make anything go faster. We have to make sure our calories is appropriate. Yes.
You couldn't do 45 minutes of just abs.
No.
No,
There's no way.
it's terrible.
No way.
It's terrible. It really is.
No.
Yeah, it's not
no
fun.
way.
No one actually really likes to do it. So
abs are like the hardest to develop too,
They are.
right?
And
They
then I
are,
feel like when you
yeah.
work them out the next day, you're like, wow, I never knew there were so many
different muscles that
muscles
engage,
in my stomach.
And if you do a good job with your normal workouts, you should engage your abs in everything you do. So it's not like you just need to spend a whole day on your abs, right? I mean, they stabilize every time you move and rotate. That's your core that is actually stabilizing you. So food is going to be the biggest one. And then, of course, working out with good form, making sure you're stabilizing, you're not hyperextending. All those things is going to not only protect your back, but it's also going to automatically engage your abs.
Let me ask you this. Are there any, I guess, because for some people mobility is an issue, to get on the floor to do the traditional sit-ups. Is there any, I guess, workarounds with that?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Let's hear
I mean,
it.
you can do like a mountain climber leaning against a counter, a table, right? Anything,
Danielle, be our model.
right? Anything
Let's
where
see
you're
it.
lifting the knees up towards your chest is going to engage your lower abs, right? You can do a plank on a wall, right?
Come on, Danielle.
Yeah. I mean,
get this.
really, you can just do little toe taps.
do
Look at
Russian
me,
twist.
right? Little toe taps.
You have washboard
Yeah.
abs, Ty.
No, I don't. I wish.
Okay.
That's why I go to the gym.
It's
Try to
true.
get those, but
It's true.
they've never come, and I don't
No.
think
Your
they
summer
ever will.
body never
I will
never
tell
came
you
to
this.
play.
It is really hard to have abs if you do processed foods, sugar, and alcohol.
Sorry, Ty.
Those are all
You
the
hit
things
all
I love in
mean,
life.
I wasn't calling anybody
Red
out. I'm
She
just
was.
saying. I'm just saying that it's really hard to see your abs unless you're genetically blessed.
I know.
Love
And
that.
if you're a woman over 40 with hormonal and cortisol stuff, it's even more difficult.
Yes.
So let me ask you, going back to fiber.
Yep.
Sorry to jump around
That's
like
okay.
this, but like there are the Metamucils and things
Yes.
like that. So can people, I guess, supplement what they're not getting naturally through the day?
They
Is
can.
that
I mean,
okay to
again,
do
you
that?
can do a little bit, but again, I'm never just going to think that there's not like one fiber that works, right? They all do something different.
Gotcha.
Right? There's so many different types of fiber. It's not like they all have the same type of fiber. So it'd be like, I mean, you see people that are very strict in their eating.
Yeah.
And the hard thing about we have more education than we ever have about health and nutrition and fitness, but it's also more confusing than it's ever been because everybody's an expert, right? And so I think what we have to do is we have to not get so stuck on the one blade of grass that we don't see the forest.
Sure.
And you got to see the forest, like all the flowers in the forest are pretty, not just the purple one, right? And so we can't just get stuck on the one purple flower and say that's the only flower that matters. They all matter and they all do something different. So we're better off if we do a variety. So my challenge would be to eat 30 different fruits, vegetables, whole grains throughout the entire week. And if you're getting 30 different things throughout the week, hey, you're doing great. If you're not even close, start with 10.
Okay.
If you're not even there, start with 5.
And then we'll be guaranteed a six-pack.
Six-pack.
We'll be ready by next summer.
That's right. Not only good for your heart.
Yeah. Laura, how can folks find you?
So we're at Burn It, Build It Fitness. We have 2 locations, one out in Avondale and one on 7th Street and up by Glendale. So we do group training. We help you with all of your fitness needs, all your nutritional needs. We're here to help as much or as little as you'll let us.
I love it. Well, Laura, thank you so much for coming in. You're such a wealth of knowledge. We love when you come in.
I love being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Laura is her name. She's based in AZ. Burn It, Build It Fitness if you want to get in touch with
indeed.
her. All right.
Love
Laura,
it.
thank you again. We
Go eat
appreciate
your
it.
fiber, folks.
Go eat your
That's
fiber,
right.
folks.
Get
All right.
some
We
beans.
have a minute left, and I thought this was a funny story to end it on.
Okay, which one are we ending on?
Shangri-La.
Oh gosh, it's so.
This is the nudist resort. If you don't know anything about this, Shangri-La is the nudist resort, and they are living their best life in this heat because they don't need any clothes on up there.
They don't.
No. They
That's
just let it all
it's
hang out.
optional. And we go up there quite a bit, and it's just they're always fun, very nice people up there.
It's been a family-owned resort since 1959, and they said that this Saturday is actually Skinny Dip Day.
Oh, good.
So there you go.
Will
If
you be
wanted to-
participating?
I don't think so. Nope, I don't think so. So there
okay.
you go.
Well, there you go. Too much fiber.
Too much fiber. All right, before we leave you, here is a look at what we are working on and following for tomorrow. Funeral services are going to be held for that fallen firefighter that died on the Colorado-Utah border tomorrow. It's also National Kitten Day, and SpaceX will be launching 24 Starlink satellites into low orbit from Vandenberg Space in California. So hopefully we'll be able to catch at least one of those launches for tomorrow. So that's what we're looking for on your Friday.
We'll
All
be
right.
back tomorrow.
We sure will. Have a
We'll see
great
you
rest
then.
of your Thursday.
Let's go do some abs.
Well, this is the continuation of Fox 10 Talks. You're looking live where there's, frankly, I'm sure a little bit of disappointment that Caitlin Clark is, I'm sure she's in town traveling with her team. She was just in L.A. But when the Fever take the court tonight against the Mercury in what was going to be a highly anticipated rematch of the trouble in the Hoosier State, it turns out she's not playing, they say, because of a back issue. Our other camera this morning is from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and so that's what we call Dean's Choice. This, I was a little bit surprised to learn. I'm sure Des has been through Murfreesboro outside of Nashville. It is one of the boomingest boom towns in the USA, despite the fact that, of course, it goes all the way back to Civil War times. But they've gone from about 40,000 people, Des, in Murfreesboro to now almost 200,000 people. So you think Phoenix is booming, so is Murfreesboro.
Yeah, it's a booming city. Not far from Nashville at all. Yeah, I probably have covered a couple things.
Okay.
In Murfreesboro.
Well, there you go.
When I worked in Nashville.
Okay. Hey, we have Trenton Hooker on. It's a good thing we have them all set. We have a couple of topics to talk to, but we do have some breaking news that we want to get right to. And Trenton, it does have to do with an update on the story you brought us last hour about the mysterious disappearance of a woman out on the Beeline Highway.
Yes, Ron, tragic update here. We have seen her name appear on the Maricopa County Coroner's website, 27-year-old Adrienne Beasley. So she was missing. Again, we are trying to get that info 100% confirmed from our local law enforcement agencies about the circumstances of why someone with the name and age matching in the coroner's website. Our Taylor Wirtz has been tracking that info, but this all comes from, like you said, in Gila County.
Yeah, give us the recap
Highway.
For people who weren't with us at 10.
Yes, so yesterday, early morning hours, 3:30 in the morning, she made a call to DPS about having car issues, needed help. Troopers were coming in to try to find her. They arrived 30 minutes after that call went out, but there was no sign of her as that happened. So they initiated a search to try to find her in the area using rescue drones, canines, etc. A large presence out there, but couldn't find anything. And later on, a few hours, she was reported officially missing. That advisory did go out that she was a missing and endangered person advisory. So we've been tracking that all morning, and I know that again, our Taylor Wirtz, she was on her way to Gila County to try to get some more information about it, but at least right now, that's what we're seeing as far as on the coroner's website.
Yeah, that's startling new information, and if that in fact turns out to be true, just a devastating end to that.
It's just
so a big investigation to follow.
Right, and so much information to fill in. I mean, the last time we knew, she was calling for help. She did the exact right thing. Her car broke down on the Beeline Highway between here and Payson. She was about 10 miles out of town. And they found the car, but they couldn't find her.
Yeah.
And now she's on the coroner's website. Did you say the Maricopa County website?
Correct. Now,
but she was missing in Gila County.
Yes. Well, we've seen this before in other cases. I will note, just as we're waiting to get more information about why she's on that site, but cases that are larger, that do require an autopsy, a coroner's inquest, etc., they will be sent to the Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office.
So for people who are not up to speed on this, I think we might have her image that was provided by the Gila County Sheriff's Office. And part of the story that is so heartbreaking was it just was not that long ago that they had, we're in an era now where it's not like posters go up on phone poles, that type of thing, or in neighborhoods. It's more that it gets out there online. And they were desperately hoping that somebody in the public would have the information that could help them crack this case. 27 years old. I know last hour you had given us some additional information just in terms, I believe she was about about 5'2", 120 pounds. And so now we just don't know. And you can just imagine the heartbreak amongst her family and friends.
And I'm sure we're trying to her family or friends. Have we been able to make contact or figure out, who her loved ones may be?
So far, no. I mean, we have identified some people that said they were extended family. I know we've reached out, but we are still waiting to hear back from them and see if they're aware that she's even missing.
Okay. Trenton, great. Look, if you can, hold on for a few minutes here, because I know you got another story you're working for us. We have a Zoom interview we want to get to right now. And this has to do, Des, with a topic that you and I have been talking about a lot this week. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a trending thing with creatine.
Yeah.
And yesterday we were talking about, I had seen the headline that said, creatine is having its moment.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's nothing new. It's not something that has been just invented, but it's something that I feel like people are kind of rediscovering, and we've got an expert on with us today to talk about the benefits of creatine here. So, Richard, thank you for joining us this morning. Just start with the basics. What is creatine, and how is it helping us?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Creatine is a basic compound found in every cell that serves as an energy source, and it's primarily used during very high-intensity exercise, so explosive movement. But we also know that every cell needs it, particularly when they're under stress. And this is why creatine is not only something for sport, but has potential application for aging, as well as a number of disease adjunctive therapies that can be benefited from creatine.
Now, this is Rick Kreider, by the way. Rick, give us just a little bit of the background and kind of what it is that makes you, honestly, a bit of an expert in this category.
Well, we started doing creatine research in 1993. We're the first group in the United States to look at the effects of creatine supplementation on training adaptations in highly trained athletes. And we showed that creatine increased strength, muscle mass, and performance. And over the years, as we learned more about creatine and did studies on them, we found that there's a lot of applications for aging, as well as for cognition, and even in the management of some diseases that creatine may benefit. So we're one of the most published researchers in the world on creatine supplementation. I am the scientific advisor for creatineforhealth.com, which is really trying to educate people about what we know about creatine so they can make an informed decision.
And so is creatine good then for even the non-athlete? And are we seeing some of the same benefits there as far as like muscle mass, improved strength, but as you mentioned, those other health benefits too?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're actually in New Orleans today presenting new data that shows that people who don't train compared to people who train, resistance training, fitness training, benefit also from creatine, both from cognition benefits, some health benefits, and even in some gains in muscle mass. Now, if you train, you get better effects, but you certainly get some benefits from creatine, even if you don't train.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about that then. If there's somebody watching that, they want to maybe say they're in their middle age and they want to just boost their energy levels, or maybe feel like they need a boost in their brain power. You ever feel like that, Des? Boost up the brain power?
Yeah, I could use some right now.
Correct. Sure. Me too. But you're just sort of an average Joe. You don't even have a gym membership. Is that the category that could be helped the most, just in terms of percentage increase? And if that's true, how does that work?
Yeah, so your brain stores creatine, as well as your muscle and other tissues. So the more creatine you have in your diet, the more energy you have basically for the brain and muscle. And so when you're tired or fatigued, studies show that you can actually improve cognition during sleep deprivation. So we're even doing it in the military. So let's go back to basics. Everybody needs about 2 to 3 grams of creatine in their diet. Body can make about a gram or so per day, but you're really dependent on dietary sources of creatine from meat and fish to get the remainder. We now know from NHANES database studies, these large longitudinal studies, that people who have less creatine in their diet don't grow as quickly, have more body fat, have less muscle mass. Women, as they go through puberty and through childbearing age, have more gynecological issues. And as we age, the more creatine in your diet, the better cognitive performance you have as you get older. And so there's this large database on health effects. So even if you're not doing training, you can benefit from creatine, providing that extra energy in the brain to help handle challenging situations like fatigue, or even in some pathological conditions like ischemia and things that can happen in the brain.
So before we let you go, you did touch base on it. We can get creatine within our diet. So give us some specific examples of the foods that we can be eating where we can get some good creatine. And then do you recommend creatine supplements? And if so, what should we be looking for if we're looking at buying, an additional supplement?
Sure. So you can get creatine in the diet. Every pound of red meat or fish contains about 2 to 4 grams of creatine. But you have to eat a lot of meat and fish to do that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A small teaspoon of creatine monohydrate. We recommend the version from Germany because it's the purest source, and 95% of all the studies have done. I've been using that source, and just a teaspoon is like 2 or 3 cents a gram. So for 10 or 15 cents a day, you can get some creatine to make sure you have plenty of creatine for your muscle. In your brain, we think you need about 10 grams per day for brain effects, especially as you age. That's what we're doing studies on now. And so you get these just long-term health benefits if you take creatine. And in addition, you can lift more and do more powerful type activities, so you get less fatigue throughout the day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what brand do you like? Because it is, there's so many out there.
Yeah, we always recommend to get the German creatine and look for the Crea Pure label. That's the stuff from Germany. And the reason is because it's the purest, it's the best source. There are some sources out of other countries that are not quite as pure as consistent. So look for Crea Pure, and that's it's sold in lots of brands, but the source of it is Crea Pure German creatine monohydrate.
I feel, Des, like we have found the expert on this issue. You are a wealth of info. Rick, we appreciate you.
Texas A&M grad, making Texas A&M
right?
proud.
You're an Aggie?
There you go. So the proud Department of Health and Kinesiology, now kinesiology and sport management.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. We got another Texan on the set. Okay, back in 2 minutes. Mystery Camp. Thank you, one and all, for your guesses in today's Mystery Cam. Seems like we're in the midsection of the country here, Des. Little philosophy within Oklahoma. William is there saying, no, it's got to be Missouri. But then you have Louis saying, right next door, give me Arkansas for the win.
Yeah, but just above that, Little Philosophy thinks it's Oklahoma, too. So, you know what? I'm going to Oklahoma with you guys this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, we tried once. Well, I feel like I tried Oklahoma last time. It didn't work out. I'll go Missouri this time. Des, what do you think?
Guess quick?
Oh, I like Oklahoma as an answer. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about the same.
All right.
All right.
Here's the answer. Let's see if we're right. It is. Oh. It's what?
Nishikawa, Indiana? Now, see, I like that town, though, because...
So this isn't a fair representation, you're saying?
Well, my kids went to Ishikawa. It's an elementary school.
Indiana?
No, in Mesa. It's an elementary. It's an awesome elementary school.
Where'd they get the name
Mesa.
from? Indiana?
No. Now, it's a long story, but it's named after Zito Ishikawa, who was a great football player for Mesa High.
Oh.
Wow. And if you ever go to a football game or a basketball game at wonderful Mesa High School, you'll see their phrase, which is "carry on." Oh. And he had been in an accident. The team had gathered around him at the hospital before he passed, and his last words, the way the story was told, was "carry on, Mesa High." So they named one of the grade schools after Zito Ishikawa.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool story. Okay, Trenton, big developments this morning in the case, frankly, that you've been following for us all week.
Yeah, we really are seeing the bulk of the most damning evidence so far in this evidentiary hearing with Tyler Robinson. And again, he's the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk. Happened September 10th, 2025. So in court today, we finally saw video and testimony from a recorded interview with Robinson's ex-lover and roommate, Lance Twiggs, explaining their relationship and how Twiggs met Robinson, and then, of course, leading up to the days where Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Okay, here we go.
My name is Lance Twiggs.
And do you know Tyler Robinson?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
And this is the same Tyler Robinson that's been charged with the shooting of Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
And would you say when you first met Tyler?
I think it was 2023. I've known him longer than that, though. That was, I think, the first time I met him in person.
What time did you see Tyler on September 11th?
Yes.
When did you first see him on September 11th? So this is the day after the shooting?
Yeah, I saw him when I woke up. Like I said, he was up and around doing a lot of stuff around the house. And then I think I saw him after that message where I said I'll come home and say I'm doing laundry, because I didn't want him going to my parents' house right then when he said there was probably cops outside. So I went back home, and it was just him there, and I said bye to him, and then he drove off.
Wow. So right up until the moments where we were having that information laid out later, that Tyler Robinson turned himself in, along with the help of a family friend who we're told is in law enforcement, but knew Robinson from a young age out there in southern Utah. So quite a ways away from where the crime happened.
Do you know, Trenton, is he in any kind of legal jeopardy in this case? I mean, it sounds like he had plenty of knowledge, not foreknowledge, it sounds like. But once Robinson then told him everything that he had told him, it wasn't him that tipped off law enforcement, right? He did not share that info.
That's an excellent point, Ron. So what they laid out in court just a few minutes ago is pretty damning. But this is Lance Twiggs is fully cooperating with the investigation, and presumably he'll be the star witness for the prosecution.
He didn't do that on the promise of not facing charges anywhere down the line, did he?
He did make a deal for limited immunity.
He did.
In this case. Okay. Now it is going to be circumspect to what he did testify to. They did make it clear, at least in the prior days this week, that if if it is outside the scope of his testimony, if more information is found, he could be facing criminal prosecution.
So what is this next soundbite you brought in?
Well, that's where we're getting into the text message exchange that happened. Now, the first part is that there was a note that was left in their apartment that Robinson had wrote before he went and committed shooting Kirk, allegedly. This was a text exchange that Robinson had afterward. We're talking about, did you see all the news? Do you see that had happened? Yeah, and then Twiggs asked, is this you? Yes, this is me.
Okay, here we
had
go.
that.
And Tyler says, I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. And then Lance replies, you weren't the one who did it, right? And Tyler says, I am, I'm sorry. Lance says, I thought they caught the person. And then Tyler says, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude and interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering.
We could scroll down to page 3. Continue reading.
And Lance says, why? And Tyler says, why did I do it? And Lance says, yeah. Tyler says, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you shortly, we'll update you by midnight.
So on this, I do have to say that they went in order with these messages. Now, we haven't really seen it presented that way. When they initially held the press conference, they were talking about a lot of these messages, the county attorney there in Utah, but we didn't see them sequentially. In this part, we saw the whole exchange of how it went.
No, why does that? It just has a bigger impact when you see it that
so
way.
Much so,
Yeah.
because pretty early on, Twiggs did know that he admitted to shooting Charlie Kirk in that exchange. But as it goes on in the hours afterward, it looks at least very clear that he was trying to give advice about, what they should do next. What about the rifle? Where's the DNA on this? And then at the end, even gave information about his attorney.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we'll see what happens on day 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've been doing a great job
here.
covering it for us.
Thank you, guys.
Trenton.
Thank you,
Thank
Trenton.
you.
Appreciate it.
In the meantime, patiently waiting for us here is Amy Kurtz. She is joining us this morning via Zoom. Des, she's a prominent health coach and is one of those kind of people who just has a knack for helping people learn how to heal from chronic illness. Good morning, Amy.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
So you're the author of the book, But You Look Fine. I think you look great, but tell us what your book is about.
Thank you. This is my second book, and it just came out. It's called But You Look Fine, Trapped in the Hell Between Sick and Well and How to Break Free. And it's my experience with having lived with misdiagnosis for Lyme disease for almost a decade and not knowing what was wrong and struggling with an invisible illness, which I learned that 76% of our population has at least one chronic health condition. And I physically got so much better. But in that, I started to feel bad in a whole new way. It was like my body was better, but my mind and my heart and my spirit weren't okay. And I couldn't find what this was or if this happened to a lot of people. And so I decided to do my own research and create a term that I call medical trauma brain, or MTB, which is the emotional, psychological imprint of having lived with prolonged illness. And I believe it's the missing link in full freedom and recovery from any kind of illness.
What were your symptoms, if you don't mind telling us, and then ultimately, how did you get the answer?
It was a long, winding road, and I had had pain in my body since I was young, but at its peak, I had extreme fatigue and lethargy, joint pain in my elbow. I felt just so achy and cognitively foggy. And because that's kind of vague and Lyme disease in general can be called the great imitator, it was hard to diagnose. And ultimately, once I started to treat it, I felt like a whole different person.
So, so once you discovered that diagnosis, you began treating the Lyme disease. Why the hurdles, maybe mentally and psychologically? And if folks are kind of dealing with the same thing, how do they start to overcome that aspect of it?
Love this question. So for me, it was really something that I didn't expect. You know, in our society, we see that you're either sick or you're well, and there's nothing in between. And that if you're better, you should just get back on the horse. But for many people who have lived with long-term illness or even acute illness, the horse is gone, it's left a long time ago, and everything about you has changed. And for me, I found myself in this aftermath where I was physically better, but I was struggling in a way that I couldn't explain. And so I started to interview hundreds of doctors and patients to say, hey, is this something you've experienced? Is this something you've seen? I've interviewed world-renowned trauma experts. And I just feel that this is something that hasn't yet been talked about, which is why I decided to write this book, that, you know, getting physically sick and having your life change in every possible way is traumatic. And once it's over, your nervous system didn't get the memo that the war is over or that the storm is over. And so you find yourself in this weird place that I call the Shadowlands, where it's like you're living, but you're struggling in a way that until now people have failed to really even been able to name. So I wanted to name and give language and solutions for people to have like full agency again over themselves.
Well, tell us one more time about the book, because that'll be, by the way, we're just about out of time, just a few seconds left. That's obviously going to be a place you can go to get all of the advice. Tell us.
Yes, so you can find me and my book on my website, amykurtz.com, anywhere books are sold, and I'm on Instagram _AmyKurtz. It's called But You Look Fine, Trapped in the Hell Between Sick and Well, and How to Break Free.
Thank you, Amy.
Amy, thank you. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
Thanks. And that's it for us today. Ty, Danielle, our next.
Welcome on in to a special edition of Fox 10 Talks at noon.
Here we are.
Here we are, and we've been talking about it all week long, how brutal these temperatures are. This is a live look from our South Mountain Tower cam looking over the valley. It just looks hot, doesn't it?
It looks spicy.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Spicy.
It's a good way to describe the Arizona heat.
And it just looks gross. I mean, it looks a little dense out there.
Yeah.
Just not good. It is hot and gross.
Yeah, that extreme heat warning remains in effect today. So, of course, we always warn you, if you do have to be outside, make sure you are drinking plenty of water and making sure you are taking frequent breaks in the shade. And, of course, just stay in the AC if you can. But, I mean, Crystal, it is... Oops, I apologize. Wrong button. I got fumble fingers here.
If you're flying out, it's hot.
It's gonna be hot there, too. You might just want to get out of town.
It is hot. It's very hot, and it has been very hot. We've had several days now where we've hit 113, and it looks like we're going to hit 113 again for the forecast today. Yeah, we're so lucky. You know what? This is something that happens every year, though, right? We always have at least one rough stretch, and frankly, the record for the last 3 or 4 days has been 118. So
you're giving us a break.
113 actually sounds pretty good.
No big deal.
Comparison, right?
Let's take a look, guys. So this is my live camera view from downtown Phoenix. Ooh, 108. Yikes. You know what? We might make a run for the 114 or a little warmer. Really? I won't say it.
Goodness.
Well, yesterday we were at, I believe, 106 during the noon show, and we made it to 113. So we will see how it plays out. But we are going to continue to climb well past 110, that's for sure, in these next couple hours. So as you mentioned, extreme heat warning is in place. It lasts through Thursday for most of southern Arizona, everywhere you see shaded in pink. But actually for the valley specifically, it will last through tomorrow. It's been extended because tomorrow looks like it'll be roughly as hot as today, maybe like a degree or two short, but still very similar in terms of heating. And then up in the high country, the extreme heat warning has been extended through Sunday night because of the fact that it's below 4,000 feet, going to be so rough. I mean, this time of year, you just really should not be hiking the Grand Canyon. You still can look at how beautiful it is, but doing those full hard hikes down to the base where it's going to be so extremely hot is just dangerous. So that's why they have that warning out for everybody there. Here's the look on Fox Vision of what is still a fairly quiet picture. You can see they're just starting to see a couple little showers bubble up over parts of the White Mountains. And in fact, here, let me grab my little zoom button here and we'll take a look at these just couple of cells that have started to fire off over the state line here. So this is right south of Eager, running along the 191 and north of Safford that we're looking at a few showers that have started to develop. But for the most part, things are quiet still. They won't remain quiet, though. This is pretty much a wash and repeat from the last few days. So we're going to have those chances up in the higher elevations, and then they will run down to southeastern Arizona again. So this is the future cast at 3. Notice it is pretty easterly oriented, so it's really like the east edge of the state. And then those storms kind of fire off storms down and into the southeast part of Arizona into tonight and overnight. Like yesterday, if we get a couple of stronger cells, I'll play the rewind slightly here, right around there. If we get a couple stronger cells, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and they kick up an outflow wind into Pinal County, that could kick up a little patchy dust. But because they're farther to the south of the valley than yesterday, I do think it'll be hard for much to be able to make it into the valley. Not impossible, but a little harder. This is the general pattern that we're under that's causing this storm potential. High pressure sits to the southwest of us, and that's pretty much where it'll remain as we go through not just this afternoon, but even tomorrow afternoon. So again, mostly southeastern Arizona the next couple of days with a chance of storms. But then the pattern starts to shift in a way that I think we're all pretty excited for.
Yes.
Hopeful for, excited about, because as the area of high pressure starts to lift north of us, now we're getting more of this kind of east to west flow, which is not the best flow, admittedly, for monsoonal moisture. But what is better is this, as the high starts to move farther to the northeast of us. Now we're getting that wraparound effect that's going to wrap right around that area of high pressure, moving, clockwise winds around it, that drags moisture from the south up and over Arizona. So by the time we go into the weekend, that's when we're looking like late weekend, early next week at that better chance of storm. So if you look at the daily threat scale, today there's that gusty outflow, patchy blowing dust possibility, far southeastern edge, low chance. Tomorrow, I think we're generally remaining dry, but Saturday, we could start to see some stronger winds, maybe some blowing dust or some showers. We'll put low moderate potential. By Sunday, I have a bit more hope for strong winds, maybe some heavier rain or even lightning with any storms, and that's at moderate potential on Sunday. And actually, we'll stay in that territory Monday too. So this is exciting because realistically, aside from that little taste we had like right on June 15th, we haven't had much in showing of monsoon so far in the valley. The high country's had some action, but the valley hasn't. So this is going to be a nice change, and it stretches for an entire week. Forecast is 113 in Phoenix, 114 for Gila Bend this afternoon, and 90 in Flagstaff. So we are talking some pretty like hot temperatures pretty much all the way around the clock. And then there's the look at your 10-day Foxcast with those numbers at like 110 or so through Saturday. Drop below 110 when the rain chances increase.
All right. So we did have a viewer question.
Okay.
Someone emailed in asking if you could explain the UV index.
Yes.
Can you?
I can do this. Yes. So the question specifically was asking about the fact that their phone had like alerted that it was going to be extreme, and I was like, oh, is this like normal? Does this happen a lot? And the answer is yes, it's normal. And yes, it happens a lot, especially in Arizona, especially in the middle of summer.
Okay.
So let's take a look. The UV index. You can go back to my graphic, and I'll advance here. The UV index today is extreme as well. It's an 11, which means that the burn time is under 10 minutes, meaning exposed skin. You've got no protection in terms of like clothing, sunscreen, shade, then you can burn in under 10 minutes. And again, this is somewhere we live this time of year. The UV index is basically a measurement of the severity of the rays from the sun, and it does vary throughout the day. So like in the morning and in the evening, your UV index is not as high as it is during like the middle of the day. So this was the actual like hourly UV index forecast for today. So it's starting this morning, 7, 8 a.m. We're only like a 1, 2, which is considered low. Unless you burn easily, they say like you're probably okay. And then it starts to uptick. 4, you're in moderate. 7 by 10 a.m. So by 10 a.m. to all the way through like 3, 4 in the afternoon, that's when you're in the territory where burn time starts to really drop quickly, and it's very easy to catch a sunburn. But the 10s and 11s, it's like pretty much anyone is going to get a burn if you're not outside or if you're not wearing the proper protection and upping the protection, adequately. And then finally, that question of like, well, is this normal? And I said like, yeah, it's pretty normal for us. So this is our summer months, June, July, August, and you can see this is the average UV index across the entire state for each month. In June, the average is between a 10 and 12. In July, it's between a 10 and 11. And in August, it's between a 9 and 11. That's probably in part because of the fact that we get a little more cloud coverage and storm activity by August. So it does take the UV down when you have clouds. But overall, we're pretty much very high or extreme all summer long, which is why we're always telling people throw the sunscreen on. I burn super easily, so pretty much no matter what, if I'm outdoors, I
got that SPF
paint myself in it.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Well,
that's interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, because weren't you saying that sometimes on the alerts? I mean, we get the alerts on our cell phone for a dust storm or a potential risk, but it'll alert you now for the.
I guess that's what someone said that
They must have a special phone. Mine doesn't do that.
Not your old phone, Tad.
Yeah, we all
You're
know
like 5 seasons behind.
My jitterbug doesn't do that.
I don't know if it was like a specific weather app. That
Okay.
Yeah, but anyways.
Possibly. Yeah.
It's like the more you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about the UV index now, though. I see a lot on Instagram. Like,
Yeah, people are talking about that a lot. I think that they partly, I will say, I'll get like on my little like stand for a second, is that people are trying to be like, oh, if it's below a certain level, I can hang out and not worry about it. But realistically, if you're hanging out like pretty much this time of year, like 10 a.m. to the mid-late afternoon, you need sunscreen.
Okay.
Yep.
Crystal, thank you. We'll see you in a bit. You'll come back, right?
Yes.
Okay. This leads us to
I was going to join in on this too, I guess.
Oh, you wanted, okay.
Yeah.
For our poll question, how do you keep cool in the summer? Blasting the AC, eating frozen treats, just embrace it, hitting the water, or shade and ice drinks? And I'm with all of you. 63% of you say just blast in the AC, right?
Yes, living
Staying
in AC
indoors.
is really, truly the best bet. That's for sure.
All right. We're going to get to just a couple. Oops, sorry, Crystal. No, you're doing great. That was my fault. I apologize. We're just going to go to a couple real quick top stories that we're following for you.
Let's do that. All right, what do we have here? What's this first story?
This is the first one. This is the former U.S. Olympic athlete accused of damaging the reflecting pool was in court today. His name is David Hearn, and he is facing 1 felony count of destruction of property. He pleaded not guilty. Now, he is accused of ripping up recently installed sealant and causing more than $1,000 in damages. In the meantime, 3 more people have been charged in connection with the damage.
Yeah, and Trump has claimed without anything like this, without fixing it. The vandals dumped fertilizer into the pool and slashed the coating with a box cutter. So workers have used chemicals to curtail any type of algae bloom. I know a lot of people were talking about that. Trump has said the pool likely would need to be drained again for some repairs down after chunks of blue coating were seen floating at the surface there. So we will keep a close eye on that.
All right. We want to get some other top stories. Trenton has been waiting in the wings because you've got some updates for us. You have been following very closely what's going on in Provo, Utah with the Tyler Robinson case. This is day 3, correct?
What? Yes.
Day 4?
This is day 4, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry. So this week, this is the evidentiary hearing. The judge had set it for Friday, is the longest that they can go. But today was the most consequential as far as the evidence the state had, specifically the communication between Tyler Robinson, who's been charged for killing Charlie Kirk, and his ex-lover and roommate, Lance Twiggs, who has not been charged with a crime but is cooperating with the investigation and is expected to really be the star witness between what happened and the hours afterward after the killing, and then when Robinson turned himself in.
So, Trenton, there was a lot of focus on this 37-minute long, what was it, an interview that police did with the roommate / former lover?
Yes, so twice he was interviewed the days after the killing, and then in April of this year, too, he talked again to investigators, and that was what we were seeing for the first time, was him laying out their relationship. Initially, they were roommates, and then they did have romantic interest between both of them. I think it was about a month they were in. Now, the focus of the questioning, the interrogation really with police of what was happening, Twiggs said that Robinson didn't talk about Kirk at all, and there wasn't really much about politics. The politics he did talk about were focused more on Trump. So not about the gender issues that we've heard so far being alleged as the reason, and even possibly religious reasons and belief of Charlie Kirk. But we did get into the exchange, and I think that was the most damning, where they went.
It was a text exchange, correct?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the one little clip that I saw.
Yeah, so started off with, did you get my note? And it was a note that was left at the apartment that they shared together that laid in more, which we really haven't seen the context of that, of where it is. But the exchange going from the beginning, talking about, this was me, and then going into kind of the reasoning, and then even saying about this is why I did it with Charlie Kirk's beliefs as being the reasons he allegedly killed him.
Now, Trenton, did something come out? We've only got about 45 seconds, so I apologize. We're kind of cutting you off here. But something to the effect of he wishes he didn't do it, or
there was some remorse there. Yes, so that was towards the end of the exchange where he says he regretted he didn't do it. But the bigger part was, I thought, was how he laid out all this info, and Twiggs didn't jump off at the point where he knew kind of in the beginning, hey, he did this, I need to call the police.
Interesting.
So ended with call my lawyer.
Yeah. And so tomorrow's the last day.
Tomorrow's the last day.
Okay.
They'll have it wrapped up.
And then we should find out the findings and
they're
what
going
the
to
decision.
trial.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no reason they're not.
Okay.
Awesome.
Trenton,
thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for breaking this down for us. We'll have you back on tomorrow, too. Another recap.
I'd love to be here with you guys.
In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, welcome back. We've added a third co-host here. Who do you have?
I have my cute little friend. This is Saguaro. 5-month-old kitten here. He's a boy.
So cute.
And he is enjoying his little sniffs. Look at him. There he
is
goes.
really
Do you have something to
cute.
say, Saguaro? Here.
Some purring.
Go ahead. Say it. Yep.
Well, we
Tell
brought in these kittens because guess what? Tomorrow is actually National Kitten Day. So we have some guests here from Heidi's Village. We have Dana joining us. Dana, good morning.
Oh, hello.
And who
Good
do you
morning.
have? You have a little friend over there.
This is little Choya. She is also 5 months old. Sorry.
Totally good.
So she's 5 months old. She's their siblings.
Okay.
So yeah, and so they are very, very adoptable and ready to go home, especially on National Kitten Day. Why
There
not,
you
right?
go. Heidi's Village. What exactly is Heidi's Village for folks out there who don't know?
So we are what we like to kind of call like a rescue partner community hub. Like we bring everybody together. We have over 70 rescue partners that we work with, and we help them be able to say yes to a lot of dogs in need because we offer rescue-friendly boarding and medical care. And then our niche are kittens. So we help a lot of the ones that don't have their moms, and so when they come into us, they can't do a lot of things on their own, and so we get them all nursed to health and get them to the age where they're adoptable.
So what you guys have something kind of fun happening because obviously you want to get as many of these kittens into new homes. First of all, how many kittens do you have right now, or cats, I should say, at the shelter that need homes?
Kind of differs all the time. Usually we have anywhere from 20 to 30 adoptables, but then we have plenty waiting in the wings to get to their adoptable age and weight to where we can get them spayed and neutered so they can be adopted. So it's kind of the ever flow, right? So we bring what we can, the more we get adopted, the more we can bring in and help. So
Do you think Millery needs
No.
I hope Millery's
I'm
watching.
really sorry.
Millery is her daughter, and I hope she's watching because I think she needs a kitten.
She would want a dozen of them, to be honest with you. Who makes a great owner for a cat? What is their needs?
I mean, honestly, cats are pretty easy, and especially the younger generation these days are really gravitating to cat adoption because they are a little bit more independent, self-sufficient. A lot of the valley is kind of growing upward versus outward, so a lot of people aren't having yards, and apartment life is great for kittens and cats. And so, honestly, anybody who just has the home, the love, and the ability to give them and meet their needs. We always say adopting 2 cats is better than 1 because they do also entertain each other. So it's a really
like
good
kids.
thing. Yeah, absolutely.
2 for 1.
You can kind of take them home, and they kind of are a little self-sufficient. They play together, and then you can have and save 2 lives at once.
Love it.
So I am a dog person.
Yes.
I'm allergic to cats. That's why I'm keeping my distance. So I don't know a whole lot about cats.
That's
but
okay.
when you go adopt a dog, they say go let it play around. Is it kind of the same thing with the cat to kind of get to know its personality when you go adopt a cat?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's a little less. Obviously, you're not going to probably take your kitten or your cat right away to the dog park, right? Because those things don't really exist. But it's kind of the same thing, getting them acclimated to their surroundings. Do you want to take it?
Saguaro's ready to go. I'm like,
we'll take both of them. Yeah. So just giving them the time, and obviously not doing too much at once, and getting them get used to their. No, they're good. They love each other. They live together already. So.
Oh, that is so fun.
Yeah.
All right, our producer gave us some facts, which I didn't know a lot of these. There are around 88 million pet cats versus 75 million pet dogs. I didn't know that.
Wow, that is a fact. Wow.
and this says cats can't taste sweetness.
Interesting. See, look, that's a new one for me too.
There you go.
Look,
I'm
we're all
learning
learning
too.
something.
What the heck?
Cats have been living with people for about 12,000 years. And cats are more popular in the United States than dogs are. That's
That
actually
is so
surprising
interesting.
too.
This one I can definitely. Cats can recognize your voice, so yes, they're just ignoring you.
I mean, they are very independent compared to dogs, so
They're
it is
just
definitely
like, leave
true.
me
It's just,
alone. I'm good.
They're very, very independent, guys.
So cute. And then how do we find out more information about Heidi's Village? How do we adopt? How do we check you out?
So our website, we have all of our adoptable kittens at heidisvillage.org, and we do have the special going right now. So 6 months or older, they're $50, and anyone under 6 months is $100 to adopt. So
Now, do you have a website too that folks can kind of go through and kind of look at all the different adoptable dogs
absolutely.
and cats that you have?
So just go to heidisvillage.org, and it shows our special, and it shows all of our adoptable animals.
I love your guys' facility because when
thank
you walk
you.
in,
Yeah,
you can see
it's
there's like a whole wall, and it's all glass, which is
Absolutely.
the best because you can see. What do you guys call it? The kitten.
The Smitten Kitten Nursery.
The Smitten Kitten Nursery.
Kitten Nursery.
So you can see all the little babies.
And that's where we nurse them to get to where they can get to this age and become adoptable, and then they go to our Meow Motel.
Oh,
the Meow Motel is where the adoptables are.
How
so.
fun.
So walk
and you
in and check
mentioned
them
that,
out.
Did we already say that Saguaro's 5 months old?
But they're both 5 months.
both
Yep,
5 months old.
siblings. And Saguaro's a boy.
Yep.
And Choya is a girl.
Is a girl, yep.
And you should adopt them together.
Absolutely. They love each other very much. They would love to go to a home together.
I love his little black dot on his nose. I don't know if you can. Hold on, let me zoom in.
Can we zoom?
See, look at his little black nose dot. Isn't that cute?
He's perfect.
cute.
He is cute.
Perfect.
Yes, perfection.
That was good.
That was a good
You've
one.
said that one before, haven't you?
Maybe a time or two.
Well, it was so nice to see you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate you guys so much.
Anytime. All right, so I don't know if you're watching the morning show, but there was a fantastic story that Tom went out and did.
You know, I think I was out.
Oh, you probably didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Yeah, so
well, this is your
I can
opportunity to see it right now. Tom went out to surprise an 85-year-old vet with a new shower. Take a look.
Yeah, it's so great, you guys. A Tempe company giving back to a veteran. I've got the veteran with me right now, Thomas Elton, Navy guy. And once you got out of the service, you were serving even after that, weren't you, Thomas?
Well, you try to give back as much as you can. So it always makes you feel good to give back.
I know you were a volunteer for a long time. You really just had surgery, but you really need help with your shower because it's actually kind of dangerous for you to get in and out, wasn't it?
Getting in and out of that tub was a chore. It's about a 1.5 lift, 2 foot lift, and good thing there's a towel bar on the outside for me to grab onto on the way down.
Yeah, well, today you're going to get a new shower thanks to USA Showers and Chris Herm. Chris, you're the owner. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on doing this. We're so grateful for you to do this for the veterans. What inspired it, and how long have you guys been doing it?
We've been doing this for 3 years. We really created the program Showers for Heroes just in last November, and we're going to be on our third one coming up here really soon, which is exciting. But what inspired me was the fact that these guys need a safety shower, and we have the opportunity to help them with a low threshold. Just like Tom said, you know, he's stepping over that tub, which is totally unsafe, and now we're able to help him out with a low threshold.
You're really giving them the gift of safety. Thomas, as you come in here and they're tearing apart your bathroom, you must be thrilled to have something like this for you, aren't you?
Absolutely. It'll be a lot safer for me to step in and out of that than that tub I've got.
Yeah, and it's all going to be done in one day.
The big stat. That's utterly amazing how they're doing that. They just got this thing all ripped apart and going to be done. They said it'd be done by 6 o'clock tonight. It's just crazy.
That's so fantastic.
Get it done that fast.
Well, you're going to be all cleaned up at 6 o'clock tonight. Really quick, Chris, tell us the website where people can, if they know a veteran that might need this. I know after every 200 jobs you donate one. Where can they fill that out to help out another veteran down the line?
It's Showers for Heroes, FOR, heroes.com, or they go to usashowers.com and it'll bring them to that page as well.
There you go. Very good, Thomas. How about that?
Great.
So happy for you. Thanks again for your service.
Wonderful, wonderful, great company.
Yeah, we'll send it back to you guys.
How fantastic is that, isn't that? Very cool.
Those stories are always the best.
They're so nice. So he's safe. All right, Crystal, we brought you back in because we have some fun talkers to get to here on this Thursday.
Okay.
And I like this one.
This one is funny. This is the Southwest one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. This is the tweet they put out. You won't get off the plane faster by standing up. 0.1 seconds after the seatbelt sign turns off.
Okay, so that was Southwest. That is what they posted on social media. It's one of the biggest debates in air travel, and now the airline has jumped right into the middle of it. Southwest is getting roasted after joking on the social media platform that standing up the second the seatbelt sign turns off, that you won't get off the plane any faster. The post sparked thousands of reactions, with some passengers saying they stand because they need to stretch, race to a connecting flight, or simply to grab their bags. So others agreed with the airline, saying that the aisle rush only slows everyone down.
I agree.
So,
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think because like sometimes and then there's people that I don't know if they've never been on a plane before, but it's row by row, folks.
Yes.
One row leaves.
I do feel that I do like when they announce, please let the people
if
who
there's
are
a
like
connecting,
like especially if there was a delay, because like I have been that person where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 30 minutes to get to the other side of the airport or whatever. So I do get that.
Which I agree, and I think it is very helpful when the flight attendants announce that, just so you can know.
It doesn't help that Southwest has made a lot of changes people don't love recently, and so like
assigned seating.
People I think in general are like, don't tell me what to do.
I'm over you. Leave me alone.
There is a guy on social media, and I think he just does this for, I think it's more of like rage bait. Where as soon as the seatbelt sign goes off, he like tries to time himself to see if he can be the first person to the very front of the plane, and he gets the nastiest looks, and rightfully so, because he like takes the seatbelt off as soon as they ding, and he tries to run to the front of the plane, and so he's like pushing people and stuff.
No.
Always
But-
doing it for the content.
Always doing
all
it for the
time.
stupid content.
We had a producer, I won't mention names, but he was saying, no. Dennis, he said on his recent flight that a lady did that. Oh, excuse me, I got my connecting flight. And then he saw her down at baggage claim.
I would have pulled her aside and been like,
Oh, no.
that's bad karma
That
points.
is bad karma. Big time.
I hope she missed her flight home.
Well, I think she was already home, Ty.
Well,
I think that's the
maybe.
point of the story.
Well, anyway, I hope her next flight she misses it.
Yeah.
Right?
Take that.
Okay.
All right.
All right, how
Speaking
about
of trips?
Yeah, I like this next one. According to some surveys, when it comes to planning a trip, apparently women like to take the lead. That's according to a new poll from Talker Research.
Yes.
The survey found being in the driver's seat during a vacation is a massive undertaking. There's picking the destination, finding lodging, booking flights, and all the little details in between. Researchers say it takes an average of 83 text messages and 19 hours of work to finalize a getaway, which might be why 3/4 of group trips never actually make it out of the group chat, according to them.
I'm in the process of this right now.
Oh, you are?
On a little trip, but I'm like super type A, and I love looking at like a bunch of different hotel options and like writing lists of like what have the best reviews and like the restaurants, and yeah, I love doing it. But I am doing
See,
it.
it
right
stresses me out.
Let me know if you ever want me to look up some stuff.
Well, Danielle, I like what you said.
I said, as long as I'm not paying for it.
She likes to plan it, but not pay for it.
Well, that would be the
Who doesn't?
best scenario.
Yeah.
Like unlimited budget? I mean,
I do like to do like the research. I like to look for like the cool. I like to do off the beaten path type
Yeah, you
stuff.
do. Yeah.
Like not the general.
Anytime you say you're going out of town, I'm like, wow, where? Because
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna
I
be
like to
somewhere
go weird places that I don't know.
that you have to
You
take
would
multiple
normally.
antibiotics before you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did have to
we
take
heard
those.
all about that.
Oh, you got a spam call coming
I
in.
know. They're
Speaking of
nonstop.
spam calls, out of control lately.
Out of control. I'm
Do you
getting
get
at
them?
least
I
30 a
haven't
day.
gotten that many.
Maybe it's because she has an Android. Do you think we have to switch to an Android? Never.
I say I can never convince them.
Sorry, Crystal.
It's fine. I'm living good over here. It's fine.
With no spam calls. Must be nice. All right, how about one last look at that 10-day?
Yeah, okay, so there's your 10-day forecast. You can see we're at 113 today, 112 Friday, 110 Saturday, and then our monsoon chances really start to uptick. It looks like Sunday to Monday. And speaking of which, we had a question in the chat asking about the monsoon, if it was going to be an active one. And everything's kind of pointing in that direction, that we're going to start to see an uptick in July, and that hopefully August and September will continue to provide for us, especially because we're going into this El Nino, and El Ninos tend to create more tropical systems in the Pacific, which then tends to drag more moisture up over us. So we'll see, but it's leaning that way that, yeah, hopefully it's a busy one for us.
That's looking pretty good towards
Does
the
look
weekend
good.
and into early next week. So
I'm
I
excited
like the
for some
look of that.
storms. Let's do it.
Me too. All right, that's going to do it for us on this special edition of Fox 10 Talks at noon. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.